A warm welcome back, everyone. I am Zabi, and you join us as the F1 Lads League Championship battle intensifies. Only 4 weekends to go to the end of the season, so this is sure getting to a blockbuster end for sure in the drivers and the constructors championship. We have no official sponsor this weekend, as it appears we run out of friends with small businesses to promote. So this weekend's broadcast is brought to you by sheer passion for motorsport and taking a look at all those all-important standings in the constructors fight. Red Bull have stormed into an imposing lead with 188 points. Mercedes are a distant second on 160 points, followed by Ferrari, who have clawed their way up to third, as it's McLaren who now find themselves at the bottom of the field. Ferrari with 131, and then McLaren last with 92 points. Then it's the Drivers' Championship tells an even more incredible story. Ferrari's new superstar Mappa is in a league of his own, now on a staggering 144 points. Rhoda of Mercedes is a distant second on 87, and that is a much more distance than others would like, but sure, Mappa would love that many points ahead of everybody. And look at this, Red Bull's new signing Nui has jumped up to third with 78 points. He's followed by Sahan, Kalpa, Shahan and Sheehan, with Aranga rounding out the field. But the pressure is mounting on big names. Sahan, once a championship favorite, had a weekend to forget last time out with several signature spins, and he'll be desperate to find his form back. And his new teammate at McLaren, Sheehan, is still reportedly battling persistent internet issues, a real handicap for the talented rookie. Have Ferrari dodged a bullet there, or will Aranga cop more penalty points this weekend? Coming into the weekend after a big day of DJing at Rhythm and Brew, so with Mappa looking untouchable, with Nui finding his feet at Red Bull and McLaren struggling, the stage is set for another dramatic weekend as qualifying is moments away. Let's see who can master the unknown of racing, unknown of qualifying, as we move forward into the sprint race qualifying.
Thanks.
Only a few seconds and we should be out on track in no time, watching these cars battle for qualifying first, and then we'll move on to a 5-lap sprint race. So it's going to be at Mexico City Grand Prix. Fun shot collie as always, as it is here. Then 5 laps of racing. I think Mexico, a huge straight and a huge run down to turn 1 is going to be interesting as well. No matter where you start, you always have an opportunity to move up to the top. Or if you start at the front, you could well be falling back to the bottom, because it's a huge straight. Even from start-finish line to turn 1, so definitely there's going to be a lot of defending games, or some mind games played by these drivers, and we're about to find out, as we should be having drivers out on track for qualifying in no time. And there we go, we already have cars out on track, starting their flying laps and getting to the top of Formula 1 here at Mexico City Grand Prix. It's going to be LaFora in second. Remember, they've had pretty good qualifyings for a moment at the start of a lap, even last weekend as well, but in the end would end up invalidating their lap and losing all of it. At the moment, they look to be the fastest driver as well so far, but can they keep it though? Can they keep a whole lap quicker than everybody else? We will find out. At the moment, the McLaren driver seems to be at the top at the end of that first sector, but for how long is that going to be the case? Can he do it? Can he keep himself at the top and ahead of everyone throughout the lap? We will be getting our answers very soon, with Rhoda in P2, then Nui G in P3, Shahan in P4, Mappa and Shahan fighting each other for 4th place here at the moment, with Prodigy in P6 as Aranga is in P7, then comes Sheehan in P8, last of the running cars out on track so far. LaFora has managed to keep it on track and keep a validated lap so far. He's through the S section smoothly and no problems so far for him. Meanwhile, Roda is in second place. Laforest now only got the final stadium section to go. The final corner, he needs to be smooth around there. Remember that crash from Valtteri Bottas in 2019. A little bit of a snap on the exit there, but over the line, it's going to be Laforest on pole position, and he takes the fastest lap of the session, 118.6. It's going to be Roda in second place with 118.9. Then comes Mappa with 119.3. That is a very different lap from the top two. The top two are in their own league, and Mappa then finds himself in P3 as others follow later on as well.
P2, well done, boys.
7 tenths down on the fastest time, 3.5 tenths down on Laforest as well as Roda. Then Shahan, who's in fourth place, 120.0, then 120.1 by Kalpa in P5. Then comes Rang up in P6, then New EG in P7, slow by the Red Bull driver. Then there's Sheehan, last of the running cars, 133.3. Definitely might have made a mistake, because being that slow around Mexico is you really have to be handicapped to drive that slow. So sure, there must have been something wrong with their lap.
Yep. That's brutal.
Oh God. We should now be waiting for cars out on track and racing to get started here at the Mexico City Grand Prix. We should be on for 5 laps of racing, for 5 laps of battling between these drivers. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 is a big one. Then comes maybe the second DRS zone, that is just before the stadium section. But I think the main one is going to be the second DRS as well. I think 3 DRS zones, if I'm not mistaken, are around here. So the second one is just out of into turn 2, and into 3 we go. That's going to be the second DRS zone. That's going to be a very good overtaking opportunity as well. So plenty of overtaking opportunities, but we'll find out whether drivers maximize those or not, because all is in their own hands now.
Oh, Shin's gone.
As we are just getting started for the Mexico City Grand Prix, 5 lights out, and we go racing here in Mexico. It's a pretty good start for Laforest. Roda's right behind as well. Meanwhile, New ET has gained a place already on Daddy, and there's going to be times as Pole Sitter's got a very good start so far. They're ahead of everyone. Meanwhile, there's going to be 3 wide cars in turn 1. Mappa's going to be on the inside line of Roda there. They're still going to be side by side. Roda's just going to be able to stay ahead. Meanwhile, New ET at the back has game up and into 4th place as well. He's making places. Meanwhile, Shahan is losing places as he's having to fight Aranga, but Aranga has actually fallen back. We know Sheehan has gained a place as well, but Roda now is going to be on the way and might as well try and overtake the our race leader so far. Laforest has managed to keep his lead for time being, but for how long is that going to be the case though? Because not only Roda but Mappa is going to be right behind as well, because we know that Mappa maybe not to be as too strong in qualifying, but his race performances are always better than his qualifyings. So lap 1 out of 5. No DRS at this point, of course. 3 DRS zones around here, so the good overtaking opportunities, as I said, so far into turn 1 now. This is going to be another very good one, because we're about to find out here. Can Mappa do it? Can Roda do it? Because the gaps are within 1 second. Of course, DRS doesn't get enabled till the end of lap 2, and into lap 3, the DRS would get enabled. But has Roda got enough? Has Roda got enough speed and enough battery to use and overtake? I don't think so. He's just still far away, but Mappa might as well fancy a move so far. I don't quite think so, as that's going to be far away from Mappa as well. Meanwhile, there's actually a battle at the back. I think Aranga and Sheehan could be close to each other. Is that going to be a chance for Aranga to go through on Sheehan, as the gap is just within half a second? But no, he's not going to be close enough. Still not close enough within half a second, but that was not going to be the case. Without DRS, I think still, if the gap is just over half a second without DRS, I think it's defendable, but Of course, even if you're within 1 second and that DRS is there, but nobody's going to need that. At least Aranga's not going to need that, as he's going to go round the outside of Sheehan and overtake that McLaren and gets the head into 7th place, the Ferrari of Aranga. But can he defend? For how long can he defend? Because Sheehan could well be coming back at him for in no time if he makes a mistake. But can the Ferrari driver keep it up ahead of him? Or the McLaren driver is going to be better, but the other Ferrari of Mappa might have thought to go for it, might have fancied a move on the inside at the end of that third DRS zone, just before the stadium section. But no, he has to back out of that to keep himself out of trouble, to keep the car ahead out of trouble. So Lafayette gets another faster slap. The gap now still 8-10 so far, maintaining that. But I think that battle to try and get that lead is over. But now Roda and Mappa are going to be fighting, and at the back it's going to be Shahan and Prodigy fighting each other as well. There could well be a move coming up for Kalpa in that Mercedes on the inside line of the turn 1. Can he make the move? Can he though? Oh no, he can't quite do it. They were side by side for a moment. Kalpa thought to go for it. Then again he backs out. Then again he thought to go for it, but couldn't quite go for it at all. But now the DRS will be enabled. The rear wing is going to be open for the Mercedes driver, but still no, not enough to catch up. That New EG's Red Bull, and Big Daddy's got a penalty. He's got a 2-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that is going to be track limit warnings for our driver. Meanwhile, Mappa still stays in P3, just ahead of New EG, 3.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Kalpa is very close to New EG there, very much, and I think New EG is going to be in very much pressure. So both Red Bulls outside the top 3. Meanwhile, there's going to be a move coming up from Mappa down the inside line. He sends it, but he's going to go wide. He's going to run very wide, and that's going to allow Roda to come back. They're still going to be side by side. They almost made contact there, and Roda's going to be through and back into P2. Mappa on the previous lap stayed out of it. This time around throwed it, and that is gonna be problems and issues for Mappa to not quite go for it. But can he do it again? He's got one more opportunity, and this time he's going to be able to do it before they are even anywhere closer to into turn 1 or into the braking zone. Middle drivers at the back, it's going to be Shahan and Prodigy fighting each other. Prodigy might have overtaken Shahan earlier on, but Shahan into turn 1 is going to have an opportunity. But on the inside line, the Mercedes driver is just going to be able to defend and keep his 5th place so far to himself. It's a Mercedes versus Ferrari. Mercedes versus Red Bull. All around, everywhere you go, there is a Mercedes. Either they have to fight a Ferrari, or they have to fight a Red Bull or McLaren. But the Mercedes are around all the track so far. Lap 4 out of 5 so far, and our race leader, Lafayette, is currently 1.4 seconds ahead of everyone, ahead of Mappa. Mappa currently keeps that 2nd place, but the gap is within 4 tenths. Is he going to go down the inside line? That was a pretty risky attempt, but just has to back out. Does Roda there. There's a yellow flag at the back. There might be Aranga having spun out. Mappa gets a faster lap. That is interesting, as Mappa has gotten a fastest lap of 1:20.3 so far. And as we were saying, that Roda might get ahead of Mappa there, but just around those final few corners, maybe Mappa's gained enough to keep himself ahead of Roda there. And that 2nd place so far belongs to the Ferrari driver. And again, Mappa, after not qualifying so good, at least outside the top 2, is going to be at the back end of the top 2. Meanwhile, down the inside line, Shahan once more. It's going to send it there and get both the Red Bulls back into the top 5 of this race. But for how long? Because the other Mercedes is not going to be leaving him behind at all. Sure, he's got a 2-second time penalty, so he's going to send it on the inside line. They're almost going to make contact. They will make contact there. There was a very late lunge on the inside from Prodigy, and then Shahan had no choice but to simply try to make his corner. Ended up going into the side of that Mercedes, as that Mercedes driver is going to get ahead and into P5. But of course, with that penalty, there should be an automatic promotion for Shahan to get through into P5. And meanwhile, Lafayette, finally, after disappointments, after disappointing qualifyings and race sessions, there's going to be a time as Lafayette's going to come at the top and win the Mexico City Grand Prix sprint race and finish at the top and ahead of everyone. Meanwhile, Mappa 2nd, then comes Roda in 3rd, with New EG in 4th. Then Prodigy in P5 out with Nuiji. And Shahan in P4 and 5, with Prodigy's penalty pushing him into P6, with Sheehan just ahead of Aranga, coming up in 7th place. Good points for McLaren as well, as Aranga has the final and the last driver to come over the line, and 8th and last of the running cars over the line here in Mexico. And that's going to be the end of the sprint here in Mexico.
No, but
What? Great. Is that a lobby setting thing, you reckon?
And look at that, the McLaren team celebrating at the top, getting double points and a win. Doesn't get any better in this. It's sure it's a sprint. I think feature race win would feel much better, but I'm sure if Dufford keeps it within the white lines, even on the next feature race, he should well be on the way to be in the top, at least on those podium positions.
Okay. Okay.
it was good racing, Mappa.
Yeah.
Hey, can someone send me another invite, please?
Did you not race, Shane, or what?
No, I got kicked out at the start. So it was AI or something.
Shit.
And you still finished on top of E.
Yeah, probably.
Peace, yeah.
No, it's not me, man. Not this one. Not the stats.
Alright, sorted it. Luigi, can you have a look at the lobby, please?
Yeah.
Hey, no one, I've sorted it.
I think weather accuracy has to be estimate or approximate. Forecast accuracy.
Yep. Approximate? Yeah.
Yeah. Safety car
Reduce?
on,
Increase.
increased.
Formation lap. What are we on? Formation lap on or
No.
off?
Oh, we need it for the cameras
We're
or
not-
something. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, up to you guys, but I can make it work.
We'll chuck it on. Should be fine. We're not in a rush today. Immersive. Red flags increased. Yep.
Was red flags increased or was it standard? Can't remember.
And put it on standard. Alright.
Yeah, I think everything else is good.
Okay.
Choose your teams, boys.
Alright.
Konnichiwa to all the fans back home. Yeah, lobby's good.
Yeah, no one let me know if it's still not working. After race start. Yeah, let me know.
Are we waiting on something?
No, ready up.
Beautiful track.
And we are ready, for, ladies and gentlemen, for racing for the featured race. It's going to be 13 laps of racing, a lot longer than what we had in the sprint one, but the feature race is what we are here for. It's going to be here at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. That's an interesting track. If you nail it, you're going to be at the top, but if you don't, expect some drivers to spin out on those curbs, especially the S section is a one that's going to send you spinning around if you take it a little bit wrong. This is going to be just moments away before we wait for cars out on track. I mean, midfield battles, the fight for the lower points is intense. Shahan at Red Bull and Kalpa at Mercedes are separated by just a handful of points. Every position is crucial as they battle for pride and to support their teams so far, and we definitely saw that in that sprint race for them to go around and support their respective teams throughout the race as we are at it, and we'll find out whether who's going to be at the top. It's Shahan at the lap start, but of course it's only the race start, lap start, the qualifying start, and it's going to be changing throughout every corner. And as I said, it is Japan. Any mistake you make in every corner you're making, it's going to be very crucial to take it smoothly. I think, as I said, lap for it, as long as he keeps it within white lines, he should be good. So far he's leading, but for how long is that going to be the case though? Because Mappa right now is in second place. Earlier on he was third and away from the top two drivers in qualifying in that sprint race, but this time around this is his chance. Can he get up? But no, he's at the back. He falls back. He might have invalidated his lap or has had a spin, because that's his Mappa into P8, and yep, that is all red on the minimap, and that means his lap has been invalidated, and now it's going to be starting at the bottom of the field. In qualifying, he fall out for Mappa, but the McLaren Laffer is still going strong, following up a win in that sprint race. Can he make it a feature race pole position as well? A pole in Mexico, a pole in Japan would not feel any bad at all. That's his chance, his opportunity, but others following behind are not going to slow down as well. There is Rhoda, there is New EG, along with Kalpa and Shahan as well inside that top five. It could well be anybody's game. Still got a few corners to go, but can anybody stop him? Just making his way around the final chicane, and for a moment Rhoda got through, but again Laffer is back at him at the top and over the line. Who's that going to be? It's P1, and that's going to be Laffer, and the McLaren driver takes pole position once again. But look at that. That was within 1/10, only 800th of a second. How close that was between the two.
Nice one left.
Came right down to the wire, right down in those last few moments. Others are far behind, but the top two again rising at the top and ahead of everyone.
Hey, Shane's car right?
We've gotten to the end of qualifying. We're watching a car.
What is this?
It's a handicap.
A new view, maybe just under the car there, but
I can't actually get out of this.
there we go. These are your qualifying times. Laffer on pole ahead of everyone, only 800 ahead of Rhoda, who's got a time of 129.343 as well. Then came New ET, 131.5. A slow time as compared to the top two. Then Shahan 130.1691. Then came Prodigy 132.1 with Big Daddy with 133.9. Then came Sheehan and Mappa. Sheehan could not set up a time, and Mappa got disqualified, just invalidating their lap, and could not get it over the line in time. So that's going to be time now as we are at the end of qualifying here in Japan, and there should be no time. Should be getting started for 13 laps of racing. And Grand Prix racing, Can't get any better than this. I'm sure it's going to be very good. Run down to turn 1 and through that S section. These guys need to be very careful because even short of qualifying, you're pushing, but during the race, during the race start especially, you're not only pushing, but you're trying to save position at the same time, gain positions as well. So it's going to be very crucial. And those who have control over their nerves should be conquering that lap 1, turn 1.
Formation laps on.
On.
Yeah.
Qualifying over, drivers done doing their job so far, but of course the main race and the race that's going to be getting them points is yet to happen. And we are getting started. We should be getting a formation lap, drivers to go around, and we should be good to go. We're moving through, so it would be nice to know what tyre drivers are starting. And there we go, all 3 tyre compounds used by the drivers. And the top 2 starting on that soft compound tyre, trying to move up and get ahead of everybody at that start. Then UEG and Shahan maybe choosing the more balanced option of that medium tyre, along with Shane as well in that McLaren. So 3 medium tyre runners, and then again Big Daddy and Mappa both on the soft compound tyres as well. Trying to move forward at the start, and the only driver and the only one, Mercedes, choosing that hard compound tyre. So maybe just trying to go long, or possibly a hard soft. Maybe doesn't have a set of medium tyres, or just doesn't want to start on a set of mediums, because during 13 laps, of course, you're only doing 1 stop, unless there's a safety car. But even if there is a safety car, it's only going to benefit those who start on the soft or the medium, because if you're starting on the hard tyre, that's going to be really against you at the start, safety car at the start. So definitely, we'll find out. I mean, they've got the formation lap to do. They've got a lap to go around and really warm their tyres up, get the temperature in those tyres, and be ready for the inaugural race start. And with both the Ferraris at the bottom still. I mean, what can you say about Mappa? Mappa's masterclass, really. The trait to Ferrari has done nothing to slow him down. He's absolutely dominated in this championship. The question is no longer if he will win, but by how much? And can his new teammate Aranga, who is struggling down in 8th, provide any support to Ferrari's constructors?
Hey, don't slow me down at the start, yeah?
Going to be times as we are now ready. Meanwhile, both Ferraris currently outside the top 5, but we've seen Mappa at the moment at the bottom of the field so far. We've always seen him not so good in qualifying, but absolutely amazing in the races. Can he do the same? I mean, he needs to do the same and repeat of every other race we've seen so far this season to keep his championship hopes alive. The hopes are going to be there, but to finish off a little early could be on, as we're going to go 5 lights out and we go racing, and it's go, go, go. Here at the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. It's a very good start for Lafayette once again, and it's going to be side by side between UET and Rhoda, and UET is going to go around the outside and go be brave on the rear pedal and through into P2. UET, Rhoda loses out into P3 with Shahan in P4. Mappa has made up places already into P5, starting from the last place or last on the grid with Prodigy at P6, and then falling out on that hard compound tyre. Of course, the hard's not going to be as good as the soft around them. Then it's Big Daddy in P7, Machin in the last place in P8. Mappa now already on his way to go into P4 with Shahan ahead of him, so there's a big chance for Shahan to overtake and get ahead. Sorry, not Shahan, but Shahan to get overtaken, and Mappa to overtake him, and Mappa might have just done that on the inside line. He's sent it there at the hairpin. This is going to be side by side. Is there going to be a chance for Shahan to keep up, or is there going to be an opportunity for Mappa to go through? And so far as it stands, he is through into P4. And gaining positions already, 4 positions up than where he started. And Shahan, the two former teammates, Mappa and Shahan, fighting out, but Mappa as always, a clear over his former teammate as well as around others. But now 1.5 seconds the gap ahead of to Rhoda for Mappa. Can he catch up that though? Catch that up. For I think at the moment he might just be able to do that because Lafor at the moment in P1, 1.1 second the gap is, but New EG and Rhoda within 1 second of each other, and Rhoda might well be on the way for a chance to overtake New EG to turn 1. But no, that's not going to be the case so far. They're going to be the case for the other Mercedes at the back. No, not at all. Shahan and Kalp are really fighting each other, but not quite the move or any chance for a move so far. Shahan's slump McLaren. I mean, it's been a tough couple of weeks for Shahan. He came into the season as a favorite, but a string of incidents, spins, and penalties have seen him drop off the pace of the leaders. He needs a big result this weekend to get a championship challenge back on track, and I think so far he's really on track to do that. Has got pole in both qualifying sessions, has won that sprint race, but down the inside line, Mappa sends it, and there's going to be a slide, pretty much a 90-degree spin almost for both of them, Mappa and Rhoda. Mappa sent it on the inside again at that same hairpin that he sent on earlier, but this time around there was contact, but Mappa just managed to recover back and get back to into P3, but Rhoda has been the one to lose out. Rhoda has lost out a position again to Shahan, and now he might be in big pressure from his teammate as well. One Mercedes on softs, the other on hards. The hard tire runner might be having a chance to go against his teammate now with a little help from Mappa. Ooh, that's going to be a little lock up, and both are going to go wide. There was a little mistake from Prodigy at the back, and then Rhoda's went wide. Rhoda's went pretty wide, and that's now going to allow Kappa to go through. But is he going to go through though? No, he doesn't. He backs out. Not quite sure what's going on at Mercedes so far, but I'm sure had he tried and had he committed for that, there would have been an overtake done by Prodigy in no time. But he decided to back off. Maybe the engineers telling them to not quite do that, because, of course, it's all about planning. It's all about precision in terms of how good and how fantastic they want to do it. Oh, a little wide going there was from Maranga, almost going wide, but keeps it out on track in P7 at the moment, trying to fight Kalp, of course, on those hard compound, trying to make the most of these soft compound tires, because you know these softs obviously are going to be pretty good, but maximum for the first 5 laps. After that, there's not going to be a lot, because then you need new tires, then you need new rubber, as that grip on those softs is not going to be a lot at all. Then the medium tire runners, or even the hard tires, and these hard tires are good. Having seen races, you know, depending how much they push in that tire, but they could even go to the end of this race. But of course, you can't quite do that in dry conditions. You're obligated to have one pit stop is compulsory, and then of course a different tire compound as well. You have to go on a different set of tires, so any tire you start on, you have to change to another compound. Of course, in dry conditions, that is. In wet conditions, not a lot's going to be the case. All the gaps between the two Mercedes drivers still within 1 second. The only drivers at the moment within 1 second of each other, with right behind them is the other Ferrari, 9/10 behind these two as well. I mean, the New EG Redemption Tour at Red Bull, the move to Red Bull seems to have been a master swap for New EG, has been rocketed up to 3rd in the championship, tied with Rhoda, and is delivering big points that Red Bull needed. Hey, has the championship winning environment finally temmed up his wild side? He's looking like a completely different driver so far. Meanwhile, Mappa on the way, almost trying to overtake New EG. The two replacements from Ferrari to Red Bull, and around the outside now, Mappa could be on the way. They're going to be side by side, the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Who's going to be coming out on top though? And around New EG is going to try and have the wide line. Oh, they're going to go make contact. They were side by side and just running a little bit wide with the help of some understeer. Mappa's going to go into the side of the New EG's car, but New EG's now going to come back at him. There's no DRS to help him overtaking the 130R. They go. It's a flat out corner, and that's going to be a little wide going New EG, and that's going to, staying within the line, is going to allow Mappa to just about keep his second place so far, and he's overtaken. 2.8 seconds gap to Laforet now. There could well be a good opportunity for Mappa to even go for that race lead as well, to even go for that race win. But look at that gap. He's getting for that fastest laps, but Han, I'm sure, has that in mind, and he's increased that gap. That was 2.8 seconds. It's just about 3 seconds now, and he knows that if he can't quite do enough, there's going to be a chance, and that chance is about Mappa having being able to overtake him. Is that going to be the case? We're about to find out, though. McLaren's misfortune. I mean, you have to feel for McLaren. Now they're now last in the constructors, and their star rookie Sheehan is still pledged by internet problems. The mid-season trade, which saw them lose Aranga and gain Sheehan, is looking more and more like a tough gamble that hasn't paid off yet. But we'll find out. I mean, at the moment, sure, maybe McLaren not with Sheehan, that's not paying off, but with Sahan, that could be on the way. That could be the time for McLaren to finally getting to the top, of Formula 1 at the moment, as Laforet leads by 3.1 seconds. He's only increasing his gap, and Shaw has enough life and grip and traction in his tires to move forward at the moment. And medium tires versus soft tires of Mappa and mediums of New EG at the moment. Both Red Bulls in 3 and 4 at the moment. I think instead of constructors wise, Red Bull looks strong so far, because they're not only leading, but they've got both drivers. They've got 2 drivers. Both of them are, and there's going to be a spin. And meanwhile, there's a spin at the back by Prodigy on those hard compound tires. Earlier, we saw him not attacking his teammate. And this time around, we see him spinning around. Not quite sure what happened. I saw a black screen for a moment, but it seems to be back now once more, as we are here with Mappa and New EG fighting for it. As the gap, look at that, the gap between B2 and Laforet has increased by massive timings. 3.9 seconds almost, as Mappa's now going to be through, railing outside and making that move successful so far. But for how long? Because New EG, of course, is going to be staying right behind Mappa. And now those soft tires aren't going to have enough grip at all. So those soft tire grip is going to run out in moments in any lap. Now there should be a pit stop by the soft tire runners soon, so we should be seeing any of the soft tire runners into the pit lane in a few moments, a few laps time so far. And look at that, so definitely the fight, not only Laforet, I'm sure he has enough great speed and has pulled away, but definitely that fight between Laforet, New EG and Mappa has allowed him to gain, that definitely allowed him to gain a little bit that he might have not been able to do that had there been no fight between all of them. So we're seeing, as I said, Mercedes having built their drivers at everywhere in that sprint race. Not quite the case here at this point, as Prodigy has fallen back with that spin, but Mercedes with Red Bull and Ferrari grabbing the headlines. Mercedes have quietly solidified their position. Roda is now the clear best of the rest in the drivers, standing tied for second with New EG, and Kalpa is right behind them in 5th. The stability is paying dividends as others farther. And look at that, Roda's into the pit lane and into the set of new medium compound tires now. Soft mediums on for Roda and for Sheehan as well. So we see medium tires come in before soft tires, most of the soft tires. I think we'll find out when would Prodigy come out on those from those hards as well. And Sheehan is in. Sheehan from medium soft is really going forward, and definitely now everybody on those medium and hard compound tires on their first stint, first part of this race is going to have an advantage. They'll have an advantage to go over to a set of soft tires now towards the end, but can they make the most of it though? Because like Sheehan is 26 seconds behind Roda, who's in second place, but can he do anything? Can he do enough on those set of soft compound tires to help him get anywhere closer, even near 7th place? The gap's 3.4 seconds. Are we going to see Laforet pit in and go for the undercut attempt on Mappa? I mean, it's already ahead, but sure that to keep his position, he might well be going for that. Meanwhile, Mappa is in, and what happened there? Mappa seems to be stopped. Mappa seemed to be having stopped like a mannequin at that pit entry. Not quite sure what happened there though, but There was a complete stop from the Ferrari driver.
No, you're gonna pick.
Sure, we'll find that out after the race, but this
looks like-
might seem, look at that, it might seem like not a lot went wrong, but Mappa now falls back into
Should be
P5,
enough gap to double stop.
exits just behind Kalpa. And now being on those medium compound tires, sure, Kalpa's maybe on those 7-lap old medium tires is going to overtake him earlier on, but the gap to Lafayette now, that net race leader, who is pitted as well, is over 6.6 seconds. And now, and even before that, he has to overtake Kalpa. He has to overtake that Mercedes. Only then he could try and fight for that race lead, that net race lead against Lafayette. On the exit of that hairpin earlier on, we saw Mappa make a lot of dive bombs there around that same hairpin on those same Mercedes drivers a few times, but is that good? Well, not this time around though, but can he do it? Once more, an opportunity could be popping up as there was a slight little mistake from Prodigy there, but Mappa himself almost goes wide, just keeps it out of the gravel as New EG is now in. Oh, there's going to be New EG to the wall. New EG is going to hit the pit entry wall. Going to be into the pits now as Prodigy. So Mappa actually has ended up in second place then, because as we're going to find out, he's pitted, but New EG just going to be on the exit of that pit lane, but is going to be getting ahead and into third place now. Shahan is yet to pit, so as soon as Shahan pits, the gap is going to be there, but definitely that problem in the pit lane by Mappa himself, or some sort of an issue with the pit entry for him by Ferrari or by his team, signaling wrong information to him. The gap now over 10 seconds. The gap, which was about 3.5 seconds at the time of pit entry, is over 10 seconds, and now Lafayette might well be on his way to overtake Shahan before even Shahan pits. He's on old tires, but Lafayette has made his way. So far as it stands, he's kept it smooth. He's kept it a mistake-free race, mistake-free weekend from Shahan so far. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. At the end of this lap, it's going to be lap 10 out of 13. So still going to be 4 laps going forward. And there's a spin from Sheen maybe at the back, as we're seeing a yellow flag through the S section. But we're seeing these guys go around the final few corners, the final chicane. We should be seeing the Red Bull coming into the pit lane. And there we go. As Lafayette is going to be taking that race lead and back to the top of the timings, to the top of everyone, to the top and ahead of every single one of them now. This is going to be interesting for Lafayette. I mean, at the moment, Shahan currently 6th in the championship. These wins are going to be helping him for sure, at least move forward and have his chance to go toward near the top 3 in the championship. Because Mappa's far ahead, 144 points, but at least he could get closer to New EG, to even Rhoda as well, considering Rhoda's in third place though. But I'm sure a good opportunity is on the way for Lafayette to really get back in that championship fight. I mean, that's all you need, a confidence booster. Sure, maybe a previous few weekends he was getting it. Maybe in the race he was getting it good, but not in qualifying, or making mistakes in qualifying and follow them by making it in the races. So definitely, I think this win and this dominant weekend is really going to give him a lot of confidence going forward with only 4 races to go. This is a good opportunity, and there's going to be slowing down as Ranga's going to slow down, and Prodigy's going to be through on brand new soft compound tires. But Big Daddy is going to be side by side now once again, not backing out at all against Mercedes driver, and is through, going to be into back of the P6. And ahead of that Mercedes, but again, they're at the back straight now, just before 130R. The 130 into 130R, it's all flat out, so they don't have to brake or slow down at any moment. Anybody who has Bruce Brave is going to be through. It should be making their move, and nobody again backed out there, as they're still going to be side by side, and very early on the brakes from Prodigy. They're pretty late from Big Daddy, and there's going to be a snap. There's going to be contact as Prodigy's going to go into the back of the Ferrari there. Goes into the back of that Ferrari thing, just enough to keep himself still in the race, along with Aranga as well, just not keeping him out of the race. It wasn't a big hit, but just a little stab to the rear of Aranga's car, and they both so far stay still on the track and keeping it going. At the moment, lap 11 out of 13. Only 2 laps will remain after this one. And anybody that has to do anything, this is the time for them. Anyone, anytime, or anything they need to do, they're looking to do, it is this time around. Nobody actually's got any track limit penalty or any kind of penalty so far in this race. I mean, let's not jinx it though, commentators curse as they say, but we'll find out. I mean, maybe drivers getting some warnings, but that hasn't quite turned into a penalty now. But there's going to be a move coming up, and there's going to be attack turned into a move. Side by side with the Mercedes was once more. We saw the other Ferrari and Mercedes collide at that point earlier on, and there's going to be problems, and Aranga's going to go into the wall. I think there was a Red Bull and Ferrari earlier on with Mappa and Nui, but look at that. There was side-by-side action, and that little tap from the Mercedes is going to send Aranga into the wall. I think it's just been saved up enough to not get out of this race, but still. He's going to fall back, and a possible 6th place is out of his hands so far. As we've only got 2 laps now to the end, and Mappa is in pressure now. Mappa is in big pressure from Rhoda at this point. He's left for it at the top and ahead of everyone, over 11 seconds the gap, and he's really dominating the weekend. But Rhoda is going to put pressure. Rhoda is going to put big pressure on Mappa, but then Nui-G's behind as well. There could be a fight. That's going to be interesting. The fight for 2nd and 3rd place is going to be on the way, because Mappa's not going to be left behind by anybody unless he does something extraordinary to go in this lap and a half that's remaining so far in this one. But he's got to do an extraordinary job and a performance that everybody is waiting to see it for him. He's wanting to do something that nobody can match. But can he do it though? Not quite so far. He's got one more DRS straight. It's going to be on the way. Only 1 DRS around here. I think at least there should be 2 DRS zones around here to make it the best. But that 13 out of 13 has begun as Mappa and Rhoda make their way through as well. It's going to be Rhoda within 1 second of Mappa. That's going to be Nui-G within 1 second of Rhoda. Anybody on the attack? Not at the moment so far. Ooh, that is now really close, and I think this could be anybody's though, because 2nd place or 3rd place could be snatched in a moment time, and Nui-G's got a time and a proper opportunity to get his Red Bull to the top and to those podium places. But can he quite do it though, because now this is very close, almost into the gearbox of Mappa. Rhoda is still on the way. News is right behind as well within half a second. They've still got an opportunity, and I think the opportunity is going to come either on the hairpin ahead or possibly an opportunity just around the final straight there, the back straight into 130R, and round the outside there almost was a overtake opportunity for Rhoda to get through, and Mappa's going to use all the battery and all the energy that he's got left in his car to use against everybody. Meanwhile, Laforest comes over the line and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. He makes it 2 wins in a day for the McLaren champion, and we are now seeing as these 3 drivers fight. Mappa's just going to be able to do enough, come over the line in 2nd place to keep his championship battle alive. But Rhoda in P3, followed by Nui-G in P4. Then comes Shahan in P5 for Red Bull, with Prodigy in P6 at the moment, with Big Daddy still maintaining P7 despite a problem and a spin after a contact with Prodigy, keeps his 7th place with Sheehan in 8th place, last of the running cars. We're going to watch out. Prodigy will go over the line, then Sheehan's actually far away before the end of the line, but then we're seeing Aranga and Sheehan, the 2 remaining drivers, coming to the end. And what a race that was towards the end. We never knew who was going to take that 2nd place, but just enough. Mappa having just enough in his car and in himself to keep that 2nd place and not give it up by making unnecessary mistakes or any mistakes that were going to be made by him or any driver that would choke under pressure.
Mappa, did you have damage?
Yeah.
What color?
Yellow.
Shit.
Fuck. I fucked
Those
up
are the podium celebrations, and there is Lafayette at the top and ahead of everyone, getting 2 wins in one weekend. That must be a great feeling for the McLaren driver and McLaren race winner. We haven't seen him at the top in a while, and he's quite done it all together in this weekend's event. And these are going to be your race results, with Lafayette ahead of everyone. 25 points to himself. Mappa towards the end got that fastest lap point as well, taking 1 more point extra than 2nd place is awarded. Then comes Rhoda in P3 with Nuiji and Shahan making that Red Bull Constructors look still strong in P4 and 5 with Prodigy in P6. Then came Big Daddy and Sheehan with P7 and 8. Rounding out the grid for the feature race.
Should we move on? I could start. So, Lapare, I start with you, having finished P1 in both races. What a comeback. I presume you put in more laps than rounds in CS this week.
Yeah, had to knuckle down after last week's poor showing. Yeah, mostly just focused on taking maybe 10% off and just keeping it clean rather than trying to maximize lap times all the time. So might be the strategy going forwards. Yeah, happy with the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like you had some pace up your pocket as well in terms of your races. And were you a bit worried there with the potential undercut that Mappa could run on you, or was in control?
Yep, I was a bit worried. I was feeling comfortable at the start because Mappa was starting quite far back, but very quickly he was 2nd or 3rd or 2nd very quickly. So that confidence vanished pretty fast. But yeah, unfortunately he had some issues which I'm not aware of, but that let me have a comfortable second half of the race.
Yeah, good, nice. On to G. What happened to you in the pits in Japan?
Yeah, didn't have much practice coming into this weekend, so I wasn't really aware of where the speed limit line was, and kind of misjudged it, locked up and hit the right-hand side wall and got a bit of damage. So I think I could have, with Mappa's issue as well, I probably could have finished P2 if it wasn't for that, so I'm quite disappointed in myself and let the team down, so I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, and was there a potential incident there with Mappa in I think 3 going down the inside, or that all clean?
It seemed clean from when I was driving, but I think the team will review that, and we'll see how it goes.
No problem. Moving on to Rodder. That's a double podium again for the Mercedes team. Third in Japan and third in Mexico. You must be proud of your efforts.
Yeah, look, I mean, on paper, the results show that, we got 2 podiums, but I think overall it was a sloppy weekend. Not just by myself, I think everyone will agree. I think everyone was a bit sloppy this weekend. It's just one of those weeks. But yeah, considering how scrappy it was by everyone, we're happy to get 2 podiums. Definitely happy to move on from this weekend and look on to the next one. But yeah, just keep racking up the points and just keep focusing on, what's ahead of us. And hopefully some better racing next time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this rate, I think you will need to be scoring more points every week in order to be contending for the championship, unless Red Bull have any significant incidents, which it doesn't look like they will. It's up to Red Bull to lose it. So, how are you going to go about pursuing this championship?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Red Bull, I think they were, after that trade window, I think they were struggling a little bit. Now they've kind of got into their stride, and yeah, we need to be worried about them coming in from behind. I know they're going to be coming in pretty hard from behind as well, so so yeah, we've got to watch out for that, protect ourselves, and we just need to be better and just keep improving.
Fair enough. And then moving on to Shahan, you've got 6th in Mexico in front of Sheehan and Big Daddy, and then a 5th in front of the Mercedes of Culper. You must be pretty proud of that.
It was okay for the points. I think I ended up getting 5th in Mexico because of Calper's penalties as well. So I think 2 fifths, but
right.
I'll take it. As I said, number 2. I'll take it. Trying to get a solid point output for Red Bull and do the team thing.
No worries. And Savvy, do you want to do me or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Mappa, looking at your races, I mean, overall throughout the season, we've seen you maybe not too strong in qualifying, but you always recover that in the races. But I mean, what happened in Japan in qualifying? We saw you're at least inside the top 5 in qualies, but just invalidated. Maybe just went over the line too quick, or
Yeah, exactly. I went wide after the S section, which is a common mistake, but I just had to keep my foot down to contend for pole, and as you know, it's very difficult to overtake in Japan. But then I lost it all. It's like P8, which had to make some pretty ambitious moves to get myself back into contention. But then I lost it all again after I sent it into the wall in the pit. So very scrappy weekend for me anyway, personally. So.
yeah, I mean, as you said, the pit lane incident in Japan, that was going to be my next question about. It looked all in control, I think, before that, or had that incident not happened, do you think you could have done anything differently, or would have still finished second?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the pit lane it's a bit difficult, it's a bit uneven. So when you come in and you absolutely slam on the brakes, I locked up on the right wheel and I presume that's why I'm the Nui G. I just went straight to the wall. Too late to get the pit crew to replace my front wing, and so I had to finish the race with, damage to my front right. And so, every time past the straights, when I got into that section, I'm sure Rodder and Nui G can attest to this. It was just super, super slow. Thankfully, it's not a great circuit to overtake in. I think I probably could have given Laferret a bit of a run for his money on some mediums, given we pit at the same time. Looked like I had a tad more pace, but again, I think he's probably managing his tires. So I guess we'll never know, but proud of the team to get us over the line in P2, considering everything that went on.
Awesome. I mean, great, good racing. I mean, maybe some context around overall in the race, but overall a very good battles, and I'm sure a very good entertaining race to watch as well.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. Thanks for joining
Questions
us.
for team principals or not?
Oh yeah, team principals. Sorry. So we have Nuan from Mercedes
Oh yes.
on the chat. How did you find this new race weekend with the inclusion of a race engineer? Do you think there's a value add? How did you find it?
No, it's quite good. Very engaging. Still trying to figure out how to optimize it completely, but well done to all races today, particularly to our two boys. We will be working on strategies this week and coming back stronger next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask you the same question I asked Rodder. I mean, it's up to Red Bull to lose it. So, you guys are going to have to go out of your way to make some moves. Obviously, high risk, high reward. Is that going to be the sort of approach Mercedes takes for the last 3 weeks?
I mean, if we're hoping Red Bull screws up big time, there's a fair chance of that anyway. So, but we'll be working very hard to get our spots. We'll be doing a lot of training to make sure we come back stronger.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have a question.
Who the fuck? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, David Chowdhury from Sky Sports India. Question to team principal Mercedes. How did you find the race engineering? Who did your little one help you, and what was his thoughts on the racing?
What the fuck?
The engineering was good. Thought it was a bit chaotic at times. The screen only shows the top 5, by the way. So we were confused at the start. Gihan and I were texting each other. We were confused at the start. But I guess we're still trying to figure it out.
Okay, good job. We are supporting here from Chennai. And when can we expect the Manuka podcast episode?
This week.
This week. Okay, thank you,
You
Sergi.
listen to it while you're doing laps, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. And any final words from Michael Massey? Do you reckon you'll be doing any investigating this week or another week off?
100% on that one, yeah. Saw a few contacts, loss of position there for a couple of the drivers, but we'll see what the drivers have to say. But I'm sure there's a penalty or two coming some of the prolific drivers' way.
Nice. All right. Thank you very much, all.
Cheers, boys.